In Black and White, the 9th episode of Season 4 of Godfather of Harlem, Bumpy Johnson frantically attempts to determine what to do now that Joe Colombo has taken the St. Clair. Bumpy chooses to side with an old foe, Joe Bonanno, since to the drug trade to support his family, but he also doesn't want to lose what he has left. A Bumpy for their most recent encounter, he despises Colombo even more, and would prefer not to witness Colombo's further rise to prominence in Harlem. Following the acquisition of the unusual ally, Bumpy tragically loses Nat Pettigrew, his best buddy and subordinate, who later betrays him for Colombo. In another scene, Mamie accomplishes the unthinkable and ends up being the life of the party at Truman Capote's yearly soiree. She brings Capote and James Baldwin to an agreement. So, was Joe Colombo truly disliked by Joe Bonanno, and did James Baldwin and Truman Capote actually disagree in real life? This is what transpired in Episode 9 of Season 4 of Godfather of Harlem. A Frank Lucas, Chance, and Nat watch, Bumpy runs out of alternatives and joins Bonanno at a park bench. Bonanno is informed by Bumpy that Colombo is trying to get a job at Harlem. Bumpy responds that he stole the St. Clair when Bonanno asks if he has any evidence. Moreover, there are no boundaries in Colombo without Bumpy in Harlem. The other families may not like Bonanno, but they fear him, so Bumpy seeks his assistance in halting Colombo. Bonanno and Bumpy meet with the commission, accuses Colombo of attempting to take over all of Harlem, and chastises him for appearing on television with the Italian-American Civil Rights League. Furthermore, Bonanno believes that Colombo's general publicity will hurt the city's business. Regretfully for Bumpy and Bonanno, it doesn't seem like the commission would take action against Colombo. When Bumpy and Bonanno reunite at the end of the episode, they discuss Bumpy taking Colombo out. Isn't excited about the prospect of killing a crime boss. When Bonanno Stella shows up, according to the account, the death of mob boss Joe Profaci in 1962 caused some turmoil for the criminal family. In the end, Joe Magliocco succeeded Profaci as the family's boss, but because of the ongoing unrest with the crew, Tommy Lucchese and Carlo Gambino, the leaders of 2 of the other 5 families, banded together and created a kind of alliance. Avoid being alone in the commission, Bonanno sided with the just sworn-in Magliocco, and the 2 allegedly came up with a plan to kill Gambino and Lucchese. Colombo, Magliocco's then underling, was then tasked with carrying out the murder, according to the New York Times. The authorized hit betraying both his master and Bonanno. After the conspiracy was finally ruined, Colombo took over as the head of the Profaci family, which then changed its name to the Colombo family. All things considered, it appears that there was a valid reason for Colombo and Bonanno to be at odds. Did James Baldwin and Truman Capote not get along? The fictional, while discussing Capote's impending masquerade party, Mamie is accompanied by her new art society socialites. Changing the guest list to include additional black artists, she is invited by Capote, who just so happens to agree with her. When Mamie later informs Baldwin of the invitation, he claims that he and Capote were friends before their connection broke as Baldwin gained popularity. Baldwin thinks Capote is merely jealous because he remembers Capote calling his writing boring and crude. In an attempt to reconcile the 2 males, Mamie then decides to bring Baldwin along as a guest. W firmly rejects her and asks her to bring Bumpy Johnson instead. Nevertheless, Mamie shows up at the event with James wearing a mask. Capote is furious when James reveals his face, shake hands and declare a truce in front of the media. Thank you for watching.